Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're going to be doing a reading focused on for those people who are in a no contact type situation. I want to thank you for being here. My name is Edgar Mendez, and I want to remind you don't forget to like and comment. And there is an extended to this reading. If you are interested in getting that extended, you can check it out. So let's see. Let's take a look here. We're going to be looking at what's going on in this connection. So, Metatron Kwanya Sinchuin, what do you have to say about what's currently happening in Gemini's connection? Things are shifting. It doesn't feel like you may be seeing the shift, but the energy is shifting. I feel like the connection between you and this person has been stagnant for a long time. And it's like I see this energy like settling. You know when in a home, right? You know how like if you haven't been home in a while, there's dust on everything, like dust settles. Where does that come from? I have no idea, but you know what I'm talking about, right? And it's like all this dust is there, and then you go in there and you just like things are shifting when you come back. You know what I mean? Like it's like that. It's like there's this energy that has settled on you and this person for a really long time, and it's now moving. I mean, I actually feel like it's lifting. That's how I saw it. Like it's lifting straight up, like it just in globs or pieces. I don't know. But it feels like it's that. That's the energy of this. Let's see if there's anything else on the shifts that are happening. In the extended, we're going to be looking at their next direct move towards you. So just take that, into consideration if you want to check that out. Let's see. Is there anything else in terms of like the current energy that's happening for them? I do feel there is more flow. For those of you that feel you're in a twin flame connection, it's like I'm seeing the energy between you and your twin from the actual real connection, which is in the umbilicus cord thing, right? I'm seeing that flowing now, and it's a really good sign. Was what Metatron's saying. It's like with that, you're more connected. You're connecting more to their energy, vice versa, and it's interesting. It's like the energy will give the forgiveness, or the energy will give I don't know, like what like the solace before it physically happens. So it's like energetically, right? It's gonna happen first, and then it's gonna manifest into the physical. So I see that, but I definitely for those who feel they're a part of their twin flame connection, I am seeing the umbilical cord, like the real connection that exists between not the ring. That ring's like it's like a bypass, but the real connection and the umbilical cord, that one that is flowing in a big way too. So let's see, is there anything else that you want to bring up on that? They kind of want to switch gears. So what else is currently happening here? I do feel you have been focusing on yourself. I see there's a strong emphasis on you writing stuff. It doesn't need to be writing means creativity. It's like you being focused on more of your ambitions, on yourself. Some of you have been journaling, like maybe you could be manifesting, I guess, as well, but it doesn't feel like that. I think you've been healing by processing your pain in whatever way you actually do it. I don't write, personally, but you can't do that, right? It's your thing. Whatever your thing is to heal yourself. I see you've been doing that, and it's been working. Metatron is bringing this up, and it's important, I think, for you, because sometimes when we are in that healing phase, and it's like we just feel like we're constantly not making progress, even though we technically are, to not give up, right? I feel like you have this. It's like I'm seeing you going up this really big mountain, and it's like oh my god, am I gonna feel like I've made progress? And the air came out because I think it's just really important for all of you. Is yes, you are making progress, but it's like you have this section of healing that looks very much the same from start to finish, and until you hit that finish line, it's not gonna look different or feel different. So I think you're in some kind of energy like that, where it's like I'm doing this. Oh my god, am I even making progress? Is this even making a dent? Yes. Don't stop. It's that, but there's that feeling coming through where it's like, it's like another day. Sorry, is it another day, another dollar? Is that what the expression is? I don't know what that expression means, but that's what popped through my mind. But it's just like that. It's just another day of that, and it's just keep going. There's a finite amount of days, essentially, a finite amount of healing you have to do for this section, and actually, period, in our whole life. But there's a finite amount of healing. But it feels like because you've been on this same type road. It's like, okay, management's giving me an example. He's saying, like, how there's roads, like there's a dirt road and there's a road. He's like, you've been on that dirt road for so long. You're like, oh my God, am I making that progress? Yes. it just, you haven't hit the next road yet. So it's the same essentially. So just keep going. It's just like there's that, keep it up. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else in terms of what's happening? They're moving to the person in question. They are dealing with stuff personally in their personal life. There is a shakeup going on. I also feel that this is someone who's no longer as afraid about being alone as they once were. And I'm not sure how that actually manifested into their life, essentially. But there was a big fear of that with this person, a really big fear about being alone, a really big fear about being rejected or left out, right? And this is someone where they may have been holding on to stuff, right? People, places, things that were outdated. And it's not, oh, I don't necessarily want this, but I'm too scared I'm going to be alone, or I'm too scared there won't be anything else left, right? There was that lack mentality coming through that was manifesting with this person holding on to stuff that was expired or outdated, and no longer served them. So this is someone who's actually entering this phase, this period in their life where they're no longer as afraid about taking that risk. And that risk is them letting go of what they don't want to search for what they do. It's like, it's so typical. He's bringing me up to like an example where it's like you have this farmland and it's barren. There's nothing going to grow there. And it's like, but you don't sell it, or you won't let go of it to move towards more fertile land. Wherever they've been, it's been barren. It's been barren for a long time, and wherever they've been wanting to go to, they've been scared that maybe it doesn't exist. And this is someone who is like, I'm gonna try. Life's short. Yeah, the minister says life is short. It's the kind of like, I feel the catchphrase that they tend to use. It's a good one because that really does help push us, right? And this is someone who is in the energy of being pushed out of their comfort zone. Is there anything else that's happening in the connection? And again, he's bringing up the energy. The energy is shifting, is moving. However, it doesn't feel like it is. I don't think it, I don't know if I can say that. I don't think it logically is practically is happening. Like, it just feels like it's probably, you've been stuck for a while in the same, they said secular cycle. And things you've never been in one is what they're saying. You've not been stuck either. Things have been moving. But this process that you're on, right? This journey that you're on is a long one. It was always going to be, right? And the more you focus on, I guess, the doubt, right? Or the more you start to indulge that doubt, or the more you start to lose faith, the slower it's going to be as well, right? So the message here is to keep propelling yourself forward, keep healing. You need to keep reminding yourself while you're doing it as well. It's never good to do it for someone or something else, by the way. So just keep that in mind. In my experience, you just can't sustain it. However, when I made that choice to choose me, I didn't give up, right? So you need to make that choice too. But it's about reminding yourself, why are you doing this? You're doing this because you don't like your life now, right? You want more, right? You want a life that you deserve. Hear that a lot, don't you, right? But in reality, we have to give it to ourselves. So that's why you're doing it. So there's something like that. You need truth. I don't know. They're saying you need some kind of truth like that. Well, whatever yours is, it's going to be it'll be specific for you. But there's something that you wholeheartedly want and desire, that it's the thing that will push you forward. I'd like to do these workouts on my exercise bike, and they always say that you need something. They say a lot in that. So I did the workout earlier anyway, but they say in the video the videos that I watch, where it's like you need that thing to push you forward, or you'll give up, or you'll stop doing it. So something like that. That's something that I think you have. Either you are without, or you're not really using it, and you're without it too, right? So there is a need for you to grab onto that. That's the only thing that's gonna keep you from losing faith. It's that truth, right? Truth and love vibration are adjacent. All right. I think that's it. Let's move towards now. What have they realized, Gemini? So we're gonna look at what this person has been realizing. All that glitter isn't gold. That's a clear one. I'm not entirely sure what that statement means, but I definitely feel like this is someone who may have been choosing shinier objects, or things that look like, how there's all these judgments and belief systems that people have about what can make you happy, right? It's usually the typical one for just the entirety of Earth, right? Is settling down and having kids, right? But that's not the happiest you could be, right? There's something like this where I feel like this person was going after something that they were like thinking, oh, that everyone's doing that, so I should do that too, or something like that with all that glitter, right? It's a shiny thing, and this is someone who's now starting to look at that. Maybe that's not so not all that worthwhile. And I'm not saying it's family exactly, but I think that's a good example, right? Where everyone it's like you're just doing something, you haven't really thought about it. Why am I doing that, right? So I definitely feel like this is someone who's now asking themselves, do I actually want that? That's a good question, isn't it, right? Do I want that? Because everyone's going after that, so I just say it, right? But do I want that? So I definitely feel like this is someone who's been asking themselves that really, really, really important question. Do they want that? Is that going to make them happy? Because all too often people are just doing what everybody else is doing, saying what everybody else is saying, striving for what everybody else is striving for, instead of asking themselves if that is what I desire. So I definitely see that this is someone who is learning not to do that. I also feel like they had a habit of trying to keep appearances with that shiny thing, right? This is interesting. Management says, in some ways, going after that thing is like reputation, or it's like a good reputation, right? You settle down, you have kids, something like that. I'm not saying it's that one exactly, but it's like, oh, then you are a good person or something like that. It's not said, but it's kind of implied, right? What I'm talking about? There's something like this. I don't know. I'm far removed from where this person is. Like, I've made so much progress, but it's something like that. It's hard to like dive into that one, but it's something like that where they having these things, right, in their life makes them appear like a good person, or makes them appear like they are having a happy life, or it makes them appear like they are successful. That doesn't mean any of that, right? But it appears that way. So they are trying to uphold some kind of glittery thing, but it wasn't gold in the end, right? As well. So this is someone who was grabbing onto stuff they didn't even want, didn't even desire, because they thought other people would look at them favorably. It's real crazy. It's a crazy thing if you were to take a step back and really see yourself doing that. And I definitely see that this is someone who has did that. And so it would be really shocking, if you ask me, to have that kind of epiphany, but they have had it. Let's see, is there what else have they learned, or what else are they realizing, or have they realized? One of the things that they have realized is, for one, is that you're not coming, that you're not making a move towards this person, and it's more like you couldn't give an F kind of thing, if I'm being honest with you. This is someone, I don't know what has happened here between you and this person for this no context situation, but they see you as someone who you're not budging. Yeah. I don't know what this budge is exactly, or where, what you kind of slotted yourself into, but it definitely feels like you've put yourself in a position that you're not going to budge on. You may have taken a stand for some of you. You may have put up boundaries for some of you. I don't know. Or you may have said, I'm just not going to do that. There's just something like that. I don't know, some craziness like that. But what this person has realized is that you're not coming. You're not going to budge. And if they were, it's like, there's no point in even hoping that it's going to happen. Like, this is someone who is accepting that you mean what you say or said, right? And you're not going to change your mind. So this is someone who's looking at this, and it's like it's interesting because how Metatron placed it. It's like they're looking at like their life, the thing that they don't even want, that's not making them happy, and you, that would make them happy, and they're like, why am I fussing about letting this go, right? And that's what's made this person ask all those questions. What do I want? Because why am I holding on to something I don't even effing like? Like, it doesn't even make me happy, and it's tiresome. And why am I not going after what I feel will make me happy? And this isn't just you, but it's you and other stuff, right? So this person's looking at this and thinking, what's wrong with me? Why am I doing this? And that's what's caused this person to ask themselves the big question, which has caused them to start to release stuff, limiting beliefs, outdated beliefs, prejudices and judgments, and this fear, right, about being I want to say ostracized. I kind of want to say that that's the word I'm getting, but whatever it is, this is someone who's looking at this and just it's like they took a step back and they're like, what is this? This should be an easy choice, right? But why can't I make it? And that's the question. And, that's what the healing's all about, right? Why can't they make it? They learn, they figure it out, they have more awareness to it, and they can work on it. But this is someone who has kind of did that. It's real crazy that this is someone who's, it's like, but I saw it like a book though, like two different pages, it's like someone was looking at that. It's just like they're looking to turn the page in their life too, by the way, that's for sure. But they have to be willing to let go of stuff in order for them to do that. Let's see, is there anything else on what this person has realized? That they do have deep feelings for you, but it came in as the undertow with that you not taking actions towards them. Like they realize that you're not coming, that you're not going to reach out. Like they're very clear on that. You are very clear on that, and that energy has settled onto this person because you're not budging. You won't do it. It's like you're okay. Like I said, you are focused on your ambitions. You're focused on your own healing. You're focused on yourself. And when we do that, right, when we put our attention and spotlight on ourselves, we make ourselves feel great, right? So you don't need this, right? It doesn't mean you don't want it, right? Doesn't mean that there isn't desire, right? But you can live without it. Like you can't live without water. Yeah, you can. This isn't water for you, right? This isn't that. So it's like you can survive without this, and you have learned that. You've learned that. I want to say the hard way. I don't know, but it feels like you have learned that with time because this very long stretch of stagnant energy or no contact situation between you and them has proven that you will survive, right? It really is that, right? So it's like you're very clear. Like I don't want to be part of any drama or something like that. I don't know what your issue is with this person, or maybe what your issue is with their life, or who, the things that they do. Who knows, right? However, you are open, right, to a certain extent, but it's not. It's healthy. Yeah, that's how Metatron wants to face. It's healthy because you're focused on yourself. You're filling your own cup. I definitely feel a lot of you are focused on inspiration or things that inspire you. The Metatron has a side note for this. He's saying that some of you have inspirational ideas, but you're looking for an idea that will make you money. Don't discredit that. It may not make sense now, but all too often we apply a bunch of different stuff and then we can build a really beautiful idea that will generate wealth, right? So I know somebody's maybe getting ideas that you just can't fathom or can't see. Why? Why do I have an idea? I want an idea that I can bring more money in. So he says this as, focus on those little ones because that's important. It's building up to something bigger, right? So it is what it is, all right? He says to think of it like a class. Like, if you were to go for some kind of degree, he's called it an honorary degree, actually is what he's calling it. But you were to go to a degree, you would take all these different classes that will set you up for success, right? It's like that, but it's life, right? It's these little creative ideas are setting you up for success in the long run. You need to follow that and trust your heart and trust that process, okay? It's a side note for some of you. I don't know who needed that one, but he wanted me to kind of like tack that on, all right? Is there any last thing that you want to give in terms of what this person has realized towards Gemini? They are going to make it up to you. Sorry, that the air came up. I got like a surge of surge of pain, very apologetic, right? They are going to make it up to you. They do want to. I also feel this person would feel really, really uncomfortable if you were to say, everything is fine. You don't need to apologize. You don't need to do anything. They wouldn't feel right about that. I know it sounds crazy to say, but it's what I got. It's like, they need to, in their mind, right, to do all these things to make it up to you because that's how they think they will earn your forgiveness instead of you just giving it wholeheartedly. And I actually think that most of you will because of all that healing you've been doing. It just is what it is, right? You just accept, right? You know what I mean? Like you've learned, right? You've given it to yourself probably. That's how you do it, right? But I feel like a lot of you would probably want to like automatically just give that forgiveness and just let it be water under the bridge, but they are going to be very clear about the fact that they want to do stuff to make up for what they've done in order to, I guess, it is what it is. It feels like it's a mental thing, buy forgiveness in a sense, right? Or earn it. Yeah, something like that. What's the difference really? But yeah, so they definitely have realized they want to ask for forgiveness. But that's how they're going to go about it. It's the acts of service. Yeah, stuff like that. All right, so I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna take this over to the extended Gemini. I want to thank you for being here. Don't forget to like and comment. I do appreciate it, and take care. Bye, Gemini.